Morning guys, welcome back to another video. So I've just made some breakfast, getting my day started. What I'm having here is I've got 2 slices of Ezekiel bread, I've got 2 eggs scrambled, I've got some baked beans. If you're from England, you'll know that baked beans on toast is one of the nicest things ever. And also got some avocado, so plenty of protein, fiber, healthy fats. Then I've got some green juice here, which has got loads of different things in it. Celery, spinach, I could go on forever. There's so many different things in here. And then I've obviously got my supplements that I take. I'm actually working on something very special. So here is a sneak peek of what I'm working on releasing next week. Basically, this is an explosive speed training program that I actually made for myself that I've been working on for the past month in my own training, and I've seen really good results in it, so I wanted to put it together for you guys to have as well. My next episode of the season, I'm actually going to go through day 1 with you guys. And the best part about this program is you don't need any weights or anything like that. You're just using body weight, doing plyometric exercises, fast feet exercises, agility exercises, and when you combine them all together, you're going to see a huge improvement in your explosive speed. So that's coming out next week or in the next episode of the season, so make sure you stay tuned for that. But today's training schedule, I'm actually training individually today. My team doesn't have training. So first thing, I'm actually getting together with a goalkeeper, and ironically it's a goalkeeper who I'll be playing against this season. He plays for the Harrisburg Heat. His name is Will Benaheen. You've seen him on the channel before. I'll put a link up here to the video of him showing us some goalkeeper drills and tips if you haven't seen it already. But we're getting together for probably about an hour just to work on some finishing. He's obviously working on his goalkeeping. I want to work on my finishing, so we're going to get together and work on that. Then I'm going to do a strength workout at the gym after that later on, after I come back and have a meal. So fully individual training day today. But I'm going to eat this breakfast, and I'm going to be working on this program for a couple of hours here, and then we'll get off to the indoor training facility to work on some finishing. So let's go. So I got over to the training facility with Will, and we warmed up for about 10 to 15 minutes just to get our bodies prepared for the session. And as you'll notice, with each drill that we're doing, I'm adding a fast feet or agility component to it, just to add that element of fatigue, because in a match, rarely you're going to get the opportunity to shoot on fresh legs. It's usually after a sprint or dribbling past an opponent, so you're always going to be slightly fatigued. So I wanted to add that in to make it more match realistic. And as you'll notice with the first few finishes here, I was having a hard time putting the ball past Will. He's an incredible goalkeeper with amazing reactions, but also the goal is a little bit smaller than what we use in the indoor game, so Will made it look extra small. So I was dribbling right at him and getting my shot off, but his reactions were too good, so I had to be a little bit more clever with my finishing. I'll give you an example here in a minute. Almost faking the shot just to set his feet for a split second so that I could find the gap. As you can see, just a little drawback of the leg, plants Will's feet so then I can expose that bottom corner. Then I noticed he was really covering both angles well, so I had to take the ball wide to shuffle his feet, which then exposes a weakness on the opposite side. As you'll see here, as I shift the ball to the right, Will moves right as well to expose that bottom left corner. So by just taking the ball at an angle, keeping Will's feet on the move, I was able to have a lot more success in putting the ball in the net. So we probably went through this particular drill 20 to 30 times or so. As you can see, I've changed up the footwork activity as well, just to work on both fast feet and agility. And then we went at an angle, so I'm playing the ball into the boards, taking my first touch down the line, and then getting a shot off at an angle, which is really difficult because the angle to shoot at is even smaller. And again, the first few shots I was having a hard time beating Will. He makes that goal look very small, even if I was drilling the ball right in the corner. So I had to find those weak areas, and in the end I found it was my bottom left, his bottom right, and also above his shoulders. Anything between the ankle and the shoulder, he was saving it. But if I could find that top right corner, his near post, because the goal's a little bit higher, and then also finding that bottom left corner, I was finding more success. But I really had to drill the ball right into the corners to have any chance of beating Will. But overall, really good session, got a good workout, plenty of reps. It's going to be a goal. Get in there. 2-1 up. Chamberlain's on fire right now. One of my favourite players for Liverpool. So good with his feet, so explosive. But anyway, just preparing my post-training meal. So I'm having some brown rice pasta. As you guys know, I like to have brown carbohydrates instead of white. It's more of a slow-releasing energy source rather than the white, which is a bit more instantaneous. So I want to have that sustained energy throughout the day. Then I'm having some ground beef and onions, so that'll be a decent refuel for after my training. Then I'm going to get off to the gym. I don't know if I'll get to watch the entire game, so I might miss the last 10 minutes, which is absolutely fine because, as you guys know, I've got the OneFootball app. And actually, one of my favourite features that I recently discovered, so not only can you follow your favourite team and all the competitions that they're involved with, but you can actually follow your favourite player. So even if your favourite player doesn't play for your club, you can still stay up to date with them. So for example, if you take Ronaldo, you can stay up to date with both Juventus and Portugal to see how he's doing. Has all his stats there. So you can look at these stats for every player you can possibly imagine. It'll tell you their height, weight and everything. So if you're interested in learning that, their birthday, if you want to know that as well. Once again, thank you to OneFootball for sponsoring this episode of the season. If you want to get the app, it's going to be in the description box below. I'm going to finish preparing this meal, eat this, and then we'll get off to the gym. So before any workout, I always begin with a warm-up, whether it's on the bike, a light jog. In this case, I'm skipping just to get the heart rate going, the blood circulating around the body to all the muscles. This is a good way to prevent injury, but also helps you perform the exercises more effectively. So just changing up the rhythm here, going on one leg, two legs, just getting a nice heart rate up. But something I want you to notice about this workout I'm doing today, it's not a lot of exercises, just 3 upper body, 3 lower body, and some core at the end, but they're all compound movements, which means you're involving multiple muscle groups in one motion. So you're able to do less exercises but still get a full body workout. So starting with some deadlifts, this is a great way to strengthen up the legs and in fact the entire body, because you're putting a lot of weight on the arms as well, strengthens up the back. Good full body workout with that exercise. Then I moved into some military presses, so strengthening up the shoulders, and all of these exercises engage the core as well. So you're getting a good abdominal workout even when you're lifting these, because it has to engage in order to push the weight up. So this is working the shoulder, the triceps, some arm muscles there. Then I moved into some Romanian deadlifts. So the difference here is I'm not bending my knees as much. I'm leaning forwards a little bit more at the hips, straight back, but putting more of an emphasis on the hamstrings. The hamstrings is one of the most common areas for footballers to damage during preseason. As you can see, the difference here, on the left is the regular deadlifts, on the right is the Romanian. So just so you can see a reference point for the difference between the two. Then I moved into some pull-ups, wide grip this time, so it's strengthening up the latissimus dorsi, also the biceps, and you're engaging a lot of muscles in this, the core especially. You're really working that core over time with this. So a good upper body exercise as well. And then we moved into some normal back squats, so again, strengthening up those legs, the back, engaging the core. This is a great exercise for strengthening up the quadriceps and the hamstrings, also the glutes especially. You really want to strengthen those up. It's going to help you with your speed, but also injury prevention in the lower body. Then we go into some bent over rows here. So I'm just pulling up the dumbbell towards me, strengthening up the back, the biceps, some arm muscles in there, and of course you're engaging the core. For all of these exercises, I'm just doing 6 reps. With this one, because it's a single arm activity, I'm doing 6 on both sides, but I do 3 sets of 6 reps, and that's going to engage those fast twitch fibers, keep them explosive, and strengthen up the body here. Then I moved into some core exercises, so holding each one for 60 seconds here. We're doing a front plank, so this is a real intense workout for the core. Try this one, start off at 30 seconds if you need to and build your way up, but I like to go for 3 sets of 1 minute. And then I go onto the side as well, so you're really trying to stop that below hip hitting the ground. You're using your obliques for this one as well. But using these core exercises are really going to see huge improvements in your performance on the pitch. So again, holding for 1 minute on each side, and then I'm actually going into more of a functional core exercise to finish the workout. So what I'm doing is coming up from a low plank to a high plank, and then stepping up onto the box here with my hands. So this one's really working the core over time. I finished with this one because it's so intense, but what I'm doing is 3 sets of 10 reps. So each time I touch the box, that's 1 rep. So I'm going to go for 10 reps in total, and that's a killer workout if you repeat this one 3 times as well. But that's my entire workout for the day. So as you can see, not loads of exercises, but because they're compound, you're getting a full body workout in just a few exercises. Alright guys, back from the gym now, so I'm going to prepare my post-workout meal. So what I'm going to be having here is a whole chicken breast, so a good lean protein source. Gonna have some brown rice and also some spinach, so plenty of vitamins and minerals in there, and then plenty of water because pre-season starts tomorrow, so I want to be fueled, hydrated and ready to go for a good solid first pre-season training session. So just to talk a little bit about injury prevention and why it's so important, essentially you're just trying to protect your joints as much as possible. And as a footballer, when you're jumping, sprinting, changing direction, you're putting a huge amount of weight, especially on your knees and ankles. So take the knee for example. If you don't have strong muscles surrounding that knee joint, the knee itself is what's taking all of that impact, which means you're a lot more susceptible to injury and it's taking more stress than it needs to. So if you strengthen the quads, the hamstrings and those surrounding muscles, they take that impact instead, which alleviates the pressure from the joint, and as a result, you're a lot less susceptible to injury. So that's why it's so important to strengthen up your body. Start off with body weight exercises if you want, but do something to strengthen those muscles surrounding your joints. But that's it for the physical training for today. I don't want to do too much because pre-season starts tomorrow, as you guys know, so I want to be fresh and ready to attack that first session. But I'm not done for the evening. I'm actually going to do some tactical training. So all I'm doing is watching some games here on YouTube of some of my opponents that we're going to be playing against. And then I've got my notebook here to take some notes. So I'm trying to study, learn my opponents for two reasons, because A, I'm going to be playing against these players, and you guys have probably experienced this for yourself, where throughout the season you might come against different teams and your coach makes tactical changes to counteract something that that team has. Whether their formation's different, you might change your formation. If they have really good attackers, you might change your defensive system. It really depends. So trying to learn my opponents to see what I can expect when I come into the arena against them, and also learning from players that are more experienced than myself. So I'm going to be looking at players that play in my position. So I'm called a second forward. We have a target, which is the highest guy. They're usually big, they hold the ball up, and then the second forward plays just behind them, running off them so they can lay it off to that second forward and get shots off. Then you have a midfielder, then you usually have two defenders as well. So I'm that second forward. So I'm going to be watching second forwards who have had very successful careers, seeing what they do, looking at their movements and analysing why they're successful, where they're running off the ball, making notes of them and seeing if there's anything I can apply to my own game and learn from. So that's really important. Even though you need to be physically strong, fast and technical, as a footballer you need to have a good mind as well. A lot of the game is played with the brain. So whatever sport you're playing, whether it's football, futsal, indoor football, whether you're playing tennis, it's good to study other athletes who have been successful in the past, in the present, seeing what they do well and seeing what you can take away from that and apply it to your own game. So I would fully recommend that. Even though it's great to watch highlights on YouTube and that, I love skills as well. I love seeing really good goals. Watch full-length matches, whether it's a full-length 90-minute football match, a tennis match if you're a tennis player, whatever your sport is, watch full-length matches, because then you're going to learn a lot more. You're going to see what players do off of the ball, you're going to see what players do for the majority of the game, because when you watch these highlight videos, that's just a small percentage of the season, and it's not happening every time they touch the ball. They're not running to goal or dribbling a bunch of players. So it's good to watch full-length matches, analyze them, and see what you can take away and apply to your own match. So that's what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the evening. So that's pretty much going to conclude this episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. Remember, next episode is going to be day 1 of Rapido and also first day of pre-season as well. So it's going to be a good one. So I'll see you guys next week. But if you did enjoy today's video, make sure you smash that like button, hit the subscribe button for weekly training videos, and I will see you guys in my next video.